most of the people who come into the membership are actually people who do my group detoxes. Mm-hmm. So what happens is every 3 to 4 months, I do a group detox because my motto is we have all these processes for cleaning our houses, like spring cleaning. We have all these things we do for our cars, mm-hmm. detailing, oil changes, tune-ups, tire rotation, buying new tires, new brakes. We do all this stuff for our cars, but we have no process like that for our bodies. Mm-hmm. We just literally sit and wait for our bodies to deteriorate and rot, and then we try to respond reactively to healing ourselves. The whole idea behind a detox is basically for your body to be rebooted, to be rejuvenated, to be renourished. And that's what the group detox is for. Because when you're in a group detox, you get a meal plan, you get recipes, you get the group of people who have been doing my group detox for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. You get me in there giving you education, sort of like what we're doing today. And we do that for 30 days. And at the end of the 30 days, I've seen people who had diabetes and high blood pressure who no longer have to take those medications. And it's not me being like this rebel. It's me watching them work with their doctors and their doctors saying, I have to take you off this medication. I've seen women with issues like PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, recover from that. I've seen them have 7 to 10 day periods. And then after the detox, the next month, their period reduced down to 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
So we've seen like some really, really amazing things. People who had libido issues don't have those issues anymore. People who are unable to sleep are now able to sleep soundly. So it really just restores the body back to its factory settings. And it has to do that because once you remove the acidity, the toxicity that comes from the food primarily, once you remove the mucus from the body and the inflammation from the body can now relax. The body can go in a state of peace. But it can't do that when it's innervated with all those things. And once it's clean, it can actually do that.
That's amazing. I know I kind of discussed before we got on the interview, but I had read your book probably like 6 months ago, and I wasn't ready to become vegan yet. And after I read it, I ended up coming into some health issues, and I know a lot of it had to do with the food that I was eating, and I knew it from your book, from researching, and your book gave me the motivation to go vegan. So I've been vegan for 3 months now, and then my husband, he did it with me. He's been vegan for 3 months now, and this week he, went to the doctor, and his doctor emailed him, so proud of him. He is no longer pre-diabetic. Cholesterol is lowered, his glucose is good, he lost weight. So I'm so excited. I go to the doctor in a couple weeks for my physical, so I'm excited. Right. But I feel so much better. When you were talking about energy, you could see me. I'm kind of all over right now. I have so much energy. Right. And I didn't even drink coffee today. I don't need to have that morning coffee. I was struggling too with my weight, and you were saying women having PMS issues, and I knew it was due to my hormones. They were unbalanced. And when you're constantly eating, dairy, and meat that have a bunch of hormones injected into them, you're adding that into your system. And I'm a trainer, I'm a nutritionist, and I couldn't keep the weight off. I did a TV show where I gained weight with a client on purpose, and then I lost it. And I swear from that TV show on, I could never keep my weight off. I would go crazy, lose it, and then gain it back. And then go crazy, lose it, and then gain it back. Kind of like what you were saying in the beginning. And this is the first time where I don't have to kill myself working out 2-3 times a day, counting every calorie I eat. Right. I can eat carbs. I used to be so scared of carbs. And I coach a bunch of women. I train a bunch of women, and they're all so scared of carbs. And I keep telling them, like, you need to make the transformation. Like, you can enjoy, healthy carbs, sweet potatoes, and you can enjoy food and not have to worry about stepping on the scale the next day. And you feel so much better. I didn't know, and I know in your book too, you talk about how a lot of minorities, they can't digest a lot of the dairy. They can't break it down. A lot of them are lactose intolerant. And, I would always eat Greek yogurt because I'm thinking protein. I got to get my protein in, stay away from carbs, eat your protein. And the first week I went vegan, I no longer was bloated anymore. Like, I'm like, here I am. And then my menstrual cycles are so much better. I could go on and on and on. But yeah, your book definitely, I wish it would have made me take the jump as soon as I read it, but I am so thankful that I had it in my back pocket, like I knew all the information. So when my doctor told me, hey, you have a precursor for a cancer, I automatically knew, and the doctor wanted to test me to see if it was hereditary. And I knew, yes, a certain percentage can be hereditary. And yes, we do have certain cancers in my family, but I knew it was the way I was eating, the way I was living. Right. So I was able to literally jump in and get the ball rolling, and I feel so much better, and I can't wait till I see the doctor again. So hopefully things will be better. But yeah, I appreciate, the work that you're doing. When you were saying, when you have a calling that's pulling you, you want to help people, like you are helping so many people. And my father too, he, it's all lining up. Like I went from me to my husband. And then when I went home, my father, his PSA scores were elevated. And literally I was like, Dad, you got to go vegan. And I sat him down and I made a spreadsheet of all the foods, especially like the cruciferous foods and vegetables. And I put which ones are good for, prostate and, cancer and stuff like that. And he's been vegan for 2 months now, and he had a big belly and his belly went down, and he hasn't checked his levels yet. He said he wants to just try it a little longer. It's really a ripple effect. You go to one person, that person goes to another person, that person. So you probably can't even count how many people you've helped and healed. So thank you. That's my spiel.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's definitely been a blessing, and hearing the stories are just it's the gratitude, like my gratitude for being used as a vessel. So, thank you for making the movement spread, because the important thing to understand is, like, I can only do what I do from my standpoint. But when everybody else takes the information, uses it, gets healthy, and then shares it with the people they love, then it becomes like this movement that it's just beautiful. Like, to see people heal, to see people get better, to see people happier. It's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is. And my father too, he owned businesses all his life. He owned a nightclub, and then he had like stores, little bodegas. And so he would never be home. He would never sleep. He was always stressed out. Like for years and years, he would never go to the doctor or take care of his health. And, after this situation, and he also had diabetes, and now he's no longer on his metformin. So
beautiful.
After all this, he said to me, wow, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And I think right now, even with COVID-19 going on, I feel like we're stuck at home. We can't distract ourselves. I think it's forcing people to look in the mirror. And I know I watched you talk about COVID-19, and you were the first doctor that was speaking out on how to, boost your immune system and try to protect yourself through food, through herbs. Why do you think a lot of doctors aren't talking about it? Do you think it's just they don't know, they don't believe, or they don't want you to know?
Okay. I honestly think they don't know. Like I was telling you, when I started my journey, I was having conversations with my colleagues. They don't know. And I know that's really hard to believe, but for the most part, most when you go to your doctor and you ask him nutritional information, he's giving you his opinion, not his professional advice.
Mm-hmm.
So his opinion is almost equivalent with a layman's standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So the unfortunate thing is they don't know. Like we don't we're not taught how to use food as medicine.
Yeah.
And so even now I'm in the process of creating a course for doctors, physicians, and
Beautiful. Yes.
yeah,
I've
that
interviewed so many doctors, and they will tell me they might have had a couple weeks of nutrition, you know?
yeah, only about 5% of medical schools required
Yeah.
like one course.
Yeah.
So, and you can't learn anything in one course.